Hey everyone, want to do a series on this Dead Guy Ale brew kit from Brewcraft, and I figured I'd start out the first one with the unboxing is what's actually contained within the kit. I got this one from homebrewing. They're about $50 plus tax, plus I spent a little bit extra money on the I bought the Packman yeast as well, because that's what they recommend to get the closest to the real Dead Guy brew. So there's a Packman yeast there, just got it in my fridge. So I got this kit yesterday, so I've kind of already opened it and made sure everything was there. But I figured I'd open the box and show everyone what's contained in the kit. This is like $7 extra. They also, you can add a bunch of other stuff like brew bags and I forget what else. But everything you need pretty much is contained in the box here. So we'll go through, I'll unbox it, show everybody what's in the kit. And I think I want to do a second one of actually brewing and showing you guys, you know, as you add it and whatnot. I don't know what I'm going to do, but the first one I wanted to do was unboxing, just because I love this beer. This is the second time that I've brewed this. And the first time it turned out so close to the original Dead Guy, I bought a second one so I could do it again, because it turned out awesome. So contained within the kit, of course, are your directions, and they let you know what's in the kit, every step of the process, when to add everything, how long to brew it for, and as long as you follow these directions to a T and keep your sanitation like everybody says, it should turn out perfect. They say you don't have to worry about your specific gravity because it's a kit, so everything's all pre-measured and everything, so you don't have to worry about that. So first thing they have is the dry malt extract, and the directions tell you when to add all this stuff, and you pretty much add the whole bag. Some more dry malt extract. You have all your dry ingredients. Some more dry malt extract. Priming sugar for bottling process, corn syrup solids, comes with bottle caps, your hops, more hops, and a hop bag. It comes with yeast, but I went for the Packman yeast because that's what they say Rogue uses. So. And then it comes with your dry ingredients steeping bag, and then your hop steeping bags. And that's pretty much it in the kit, plus a bunch of the packing peanuts. So that's it for the kit. The next one I do will probably be the brewing process. I don't know. But okay, it's brew day. So first thing I did is pull out all my ingredients, all the things that I was going to need. The dry malt extracts, all the dry ingredients, the grain bag, the brew crystals. I got my yeast. First things first. Okay. Now it's just a matter of following the directions, and when I follow the directions as I go through, I cross it out with a pen. And then I've already poured some water in here. It calls for 3 gallons of water. I'm going to pour the water in and start making the wort. It says to clean all your ingredients. I got my spoon, I got my thermometer, I got my funnel, I got my sanitizer, I got a bucket to sanitize the equipment that I'm going to need. I got my carboy and the dryer thing, whatever it's called. So I'm just going to start pouring ingredients in and start following the directions here. Okay, so the first thing you do, I got the liquid yeast, so you want to punch the bag, pop the bag inside, and then set this aside. It says let it set for 3 hours according to the directions at 70 degrees. So like I said, I already have 2 gallons of water in there. Directions call for 3. So I'm going to go ahead and throw a third in there. I use bottled water because our water here in Las Vegas sucks. So any kind of natural spring water. I had good results with this last time, so I'm using it again. and you take your dry grains and you put it in the bag. You can turn your stove on now. Start heating it up, and you're going to continue to heat this till it's 160 degrees according to directions. So, easiest way to do this. Lots of people on the YouTubes. I already showed you this, same as every other kit. Put the sleeping bag over it, and then turn your grains upside down. Make sure you get all that dry goodness in there. Tighten a knot. And plop it in. Kind of shove it down. You don't have to worry about sterilizing anything when you're doing making your wort, because you're going to be heating everything up, and it's basically going to sterilize it. So you can see the color, and this will turn like the color of the Dead Guy brew pretty much as the wort starts to heat up here. So I steep it a few times to make sure all the dry ingredients are wet, and then just throw it in there. Now I'm going to let this heat up. It says over medium heat, so heat it up until it comes up to 160 degrees. I have my thermometer. I can check it periodically, or just basically keep it in there, keep an eye on it until it hits 160 degrees. Okay, we're at 160 degrees. So now the directions say to turn the heat off and let the grains steep in there for about 10 minutes. So during that 10 minutes, I'll take the grain in and out and let it steep and let it wash all the flavors and everything off the dry ingredients here. And then after that, we're going to pour in the dry malt extract and bring it to a boil and stuff, and I'll show you that in a sec. So we're going to let this steep for about 10 more minutes. Okay, so this has been steeping for 10 minutes. So and pull it out and let it drain. And while it's draining, I'm going to get my dry malt extract. Get this ready to pour in. Once we pour it in, we're going to bring the liquid up to a boil. So that's pretty much done. Get rid of that. Now we're going to stir in our dry malt extract. And now we have wort. Once this gets all stirred in, then I'm going to turn the fire back on and bring this up to a boil. So you're going to make sure it's all stirred in. It's kind of clumpy, but it does get stirred in, not a problem. You can kind of see the lumps, so you want to get all those out and make sure those are all stirred in. Turn our fire on. And when you're bringing this to a boil, you want to be careful because it can boil over too. So just have some cold water, or just keep an eye on it and adjust the fire. Last time I did this, I didn't have an issue with it, but once it starts getting close to a boiling, it can boil over and make a big old mess of your stove. It's not that big of a deal, but it'll make a big mess. So we're going to get that going, and while that's heating up, I'm going to take the bittering hops, which is the German ones, and it tells you in the directions the bittering hops, the flavored hops, and the aroma hops. These are the bittering hops. So once it starts boiling, we're going to add this to the wort and let that boil in there for 45 minutes. And then when the directions tell you to, you have to divide the check, saz or saz, whatever. You have to divide these in half and put them in two different steeping bags and add them at different times. And the directions tell you when to do it, but you have to divide this 1 ounce of hops in half. And this one, you do the whole bag once that starts boiling, and then you boil the bittering hops for 45 minutes. All right. Took a little bit. The wort's starting to boil now. I took the bittering hops and I put them in the steeping bag, so we're going to add those and let this boil for 45 minutes with those in it. So I'll stir those in and let those steep. Okay, it's been boiling for 45 minutes with the bittering hops in it. Now we're going to add the rest of our dry malt extract. I'm going to stir this in. There's 2 packages of this. And the directions say to stir it for about a minute. We're going to add our sugar as well. So there's one. And one more. So you had to stir it so it doesn't stick to the bottom of this piece of shit Northern Brewer's pot. We still got our hops in there too, so we want it all nice and dissolved. And then our Brewer's crystals going as well. Stir these in also. Stir those in our wort, and we'll stir it for about a minute, they say, and then we're going to boil it for about 10 to 15 more minutes, and then we're going to be adding our flavor and our aroma hops. Okay, I've got our hops, our aroma, and our flavor hops divided in half. I'm going to put half of them in both these steeping bags and then add them when the directions say. So, okay, I got about a minute left on my wort here, so I'm going to add the aroma hops. And let them steep in there for a little while until the timer goes off. Once the timer goes off, actually those are the flavoring hops. Then I'm going to add the aroma hops. Once I turn the heat off and it stops boiling, I'm going to let that steep in there for, I don't know, 5-10 minutes as it's cooling down. Now I'm going to add the other hops. Let them steep in there for a while. Turn my fire off and let it set.